Hello there, this is Jimmy Page and you're watching Classic Rock. Well, it's interesting that you said, is there an archive that's carefully annotated? That's exactly how it started up. I started annotating my own archive, listing everything that went back to like the very earliest, it was all analog tape that I was doing, and it went back to like the early little sort of 3 1/4 inch reels that were done at home when I lived with my parents, and it goes to a 5-inch reel, and did home demos, and I was going all the way through, and it got through all the material that I had. I was logging it and collating it and making notes all through the Yardbirds, and then of course it gets to Led Zeppelin. And I'd started to do some of that, but I must say that I'd had an idea that was along the lines of the project that we're all now familiar with, the re-releases, but somehow these sort of gems that were sitting around could come out. I had another little, another plan, but this was far more ambitious and much lengthier, and far more relevant, I think, to the whole picture of what was needed to be sort of presented, an audible picture of what went on in the studio. When it comes to the Led Zeppelin aspect of it, it was hundreds of hours, literally hundreds of hours of listening to tape, because you've got to listen to it in real time, and then say you've selected a title and you're going listening to everything you've got around that title, and there's copious notes being made, and it's a lengthy project, but I knew it was worthwhile. Yeah, I had a good idea of like the Sunset sound mixes, things like that, alternate version of When the Levee Breaks, etc. Different versions of In the Light. I knew there was a wonderful version on the Led Zeppelin 3 of what I had was an early version of Since I've Been Loving You, the track of Whole Lot of Love. I mean, they're just total gems. So to actually be able to put them out in context with the release of the studio albums, it's great, it's a good way to do it. There was one surprise that came up because I thought we might have a gap, and it would be a bit of a nail-biting gap for presents. And I thought there'd been something that had been mixed down at the time, rough mixes, and some songs that didn't make it on Presents, and I was relieved to find it. It actually wasn't labelled, the box. I had to go through all manner of things, whatever was on tape, I had to listen to it if it didn't have a proper, even if it did, I had to check it was in the right box. Anyway, the material for Presents turned up, so that was like breathing a sigh of relief and wiping the forehead. It was like, oh, thank you, God, because that would have, without the material for Presents, it would have been tricky. As was the first album, we had to use a live performance because there just wasn't the material left over to make up a companion disc. But now there was for everything, so it was cool. I'd always intended to make Physical Graffiti's companion disc a single disc, because the pure nature of why the studio album of Physical Graffiti was a double disc or 2 vinyls or whatever was a simple reason that that's what it was, and this is what it is as far as the companion disc. There was no point in trying to just put things on there because it was too close to something that was already on there, like 10 years gone. There was no point. Sometimes there just wasn't another version to actually pull out. So with whatever there was, I made the best compilation I felt, showing the band really at work and at play, and these sort of passionate performances from each of the individuals and collectively, and it's cool.